My name is Allie, and welcome to Funny Fat Friend, a podcast about this bodacious biracial babe trying to find herself in film. Here's an update. We have been protesting here in Louisville for 92 days, and we still have no justice. I'm continuing to highlight organizations leading the way in creating equality, and this week I'm highlighting the Black Art Futures Fund, or BAFF, which is a collective of emerging philanthropists promoting the elevation and preservation of Black arts and culture. Through grant-making, board matching, and organization to donor cultivation, they seek to amplify and strengthen the future of Black art by giving grants to small nonprofit organizations working to enhance the future of Black arts and culture. You can check them out and learn more at blackartfutures.org. Okay. Now I am so excited. Not only to introduce this week's movie, but also to have back my incredible pal Javier.
Hey. Hey. No, wait, go on. Wait, finish. I think you were going to say more nice things.
Nope. I was going to say you're the first guest during, all these wild times. I've been doing it solo for so long.
Right.
Yeah.
Matilda doesn't count as a guest?
Oh, no. She's a piece of shit.
Well, I'm glad to be back. Thanks for having me back. I was very excited to come back into this. And I even before COVID, I had wanted to watch another movie and do this again. But yeah, in these crazy times when you took like the time off and everyone's just been kind of keeping their head down and doing their own thing all the times, I'm happy to be back and chatting and watching movies with you. But I was really excited after watching the last movie that we did, which was How Stella Got Her Groove Back. I had one of those effects where I started noticing it everywhere. There's a name for that, right? I think it's a German word.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, and I don't know.
Right.
And someone's going to text me as soon as they hear this. Because someone always texts me whenever I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sometimes that's me.
Yeah, it has been you.
Yeah. For some of the Twilight episodes?
Yeah.
Just text you. I was like, oh, hey, by the way. Twilight related
info.
Yeah.
My favorite was on the YouTube channel when I was talking. No, it was Twilight. I was talking about Free Solo. And I didn't know what he was doing. And you texted me and it was like, it's called Free Solo.
That's what it's called, yeah. The thing that he does in that movie called Free Solo.
It's that.
Alex Reynolds. Shout out to Alex Reynolds, Free Solo.
Yeah, if he listens to the pod, he might.
Anyway, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, I noticed it being referenced a couple times online or in shows in Community. They made a How Stella Got Her Groove Back. It wasn't a good reference. It wasn't funny, but
love that.
This was probably the third time I've watched the series, and I didn't notice that it was a reference until now, which was fun. So I was really excited to watch Waiting to Exhale, which was the other movie by the author. I didn't bother to read the book this time.
Yeah, I think that was the move.
Too much time reading How Stella Got Her Groove Back. And now my annotated edition of that book, I don't know if annotated is the right word. I took notes in my How Stella Got Her Groove Back book. I put that into one of those little free libraries here in Louisville. So now someone else who decides to read it will pick it up and see all my notes and kind of jokes that I wrote in it.
Maybe this will be like Fargo, where someone's going to hear us talking about a thing, and then they're going to go and try and find it.
Oh, you just spoiled Fargo for me? I've never seen it.
No! Well, maybe. No!
Never seen it.
At the beginning of Fargo, it just says it's based on a true story, but it's a lie. That's not true. It's not based on a true story, but there's like a treasure in the movie, and so somebody went to try and find the treasure and died.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. That's, I'm sorry that they died, but that's pretty cool. Not that they died, but that people thought it was, I've read some things and seen some things that also do that, this is based on a true story, but it's not.
Yeah.
That movie Surf's Up with the penguins surfing. At the very beginning of the movie,
Dude, I
it
have
says...
that on my shelf right now. I have Surf's Up. I have the DVD.
Oh,
pop it in.
Let's do it. Hey,
the podcast is over. This is the end of the episode. We're gonna watch Surf's Up.
we'll come back and keep recording after watching Surf's Up, forgetting about our movie that we were planning on doing anyway. Well, so do you remember that at the beginning of that movie they say this is based on a true story? Mm-hmm. Because the entire movie is a mockumentary.
Yeah.
I thought as a kid that it honestly was, that there were penguins who went to Hawaii.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's wholesome. Yeah.
And I don't know if I ever tried to look it up, but eventually I kind of just grew into my senses and came to my senses and thought, no, there were no penguins that went to Hawaii to surf. No.
Yeah, you put Stella Got Her Groove Back into a little free library in Louisville. So if I have any super dedicated fans, search them all.
Yeah.
Go find it.
Go find it. A relic, a memento of our time on this podcast.
Yeah, it'll be worth something someday.
I didn't end up reading Waiting to Exhale book, but I did watch the movie. And immediately texted you and said, there's no way we can do this for the podcast. It's so... The story is all over the place, and I couldn't imagine you trying to summarize the movie and talk about it, and us kind of talk about it in a coherent way. I feel like listening to it would have just been a fever dream for the listener, because the movie was honestly a fever dream when I watched it. It's just kind of some unrelated stories of people who are still related, but they're 4 separate stories.
Yeah.
That sometimes are together, but most of the time aren't. Okay. And then don't impact one another.
Oh.
Which might work well in a novel format, but not a movie format. Waiting to Exhale also wasn't going to be good for the podcast because it did not have Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, that's a problem.
How Stella Got Her Groove Back? Great Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
Waiting to Exhale, it had remind me of the
Whitney
pop
Houston?
Whitney Houston was in it. Mm-hmm. They picked the wrong celebrity.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't think that any of the little stories going on were too great or interesting. And I don't even remember which one was Whitney Houston's. They all had to do with relationships, though. And it was 4 different women and 4 different types of relationships.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's kind of interesting to follow. But, again, they didn't impact one another. There was a very good scene where someone, again, I'm forgetting which of the 4 stories this was in, lights her husband's car on fire in her own driveway.
Hell yeah.
And then the fire department shows up. I'm like, are you aware that this is happening? She said, yes, I did that. And so the fire department was like, oh, okay. No, you can't. Don't do that, please. Please don't do that. Don't light cars on fire in your driveway. Yeah. As in the background, they're putting the hose on and trying to get it out. All in all, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, way better.
Yikes.
Was it only because of Whoopi Goldberg? Probably. Probably, but there were some other redeeming qualities How Stella Got Her Groove Back had as well. Yeah. Such as having only one story that I had to follow.
Great, yeah, that sounds like a win.
Yeah.
I'm glad for How Stella Got Her Groove Back being better than something, you know?
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm happy for it, you know? We really tore it up.
We did. I kind of felt bad at the end realizing that all we had done to that movie was just say, or at least all that I had done, I would just complained about it. For the full hour and a half that we recorded, I was just complaining about the movie. It has... Well, I'm thinking back on it. Never mind.
No, but our podcast did... I have talked to a lot of people who have watched it because of our podcast. They just didn't believe. They didn't believe us.
They didn't believe what?
Yeah, they just didn't believe us.
They didn't believe that we watched the
that
movie.
It was so bad.
That it was so.
Not just that it was so bad. That those things happened.
They thought we were making it up as we went. You briefly look up the synopsis on Wikipedia. It's
and there was
this scene probably happened.
They all take their tops off. So if you haven't listened to the House Till It Gutter Group Back episode,
I hope we convinced you. I hope we've talked enough shit about the movie to make you want to go listen to us talk more.
Even more shit about that movie. Yeah, this was a teaser for you for that episode of the past.
But now we have a whole new episode with a whole new movie.
Yes, we do. That people can already tell what it is because I put it in the title of the...
Oh, yeah. No, I listened to this without ever looking at the title, so it's always a surprise for me.
You like close your eyes?
Yeah, and just kind of have to hope that I'm clicking the right spot on my phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out. But then if I at least get into your, not playlist, but your podcast page, then if I at least just click on one, I can just next until
it's something different.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exotic. You gotta listen to like that intro music and the intro. You're wasting at least 2 to 3 minutes each time.
But it's worth the surprise. So let's do that reveal right now. What movie are we watching?
For you, even. You're going to be listening to this episode. Javier listening to his own episode right now. The movie that we are reviewing.
I'm going to be surprised by it. Now, I do know it has Whoopi Goldberg in it.
Yes.
It doesn't just have her in it. She stars in it.
She is the star, which is how movies with Whoopi Goldberg should be.
She easily stole the starlight in How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It should have just been about Whoopi Goldberg. And then Stella was the side character. Yeah. Really, yeah, Stella should have been like I was going to say... I was thinking the word secondary, but then I was like, but like a third of that. And then I was going to say third-dairy.
A third-dairy character. A little boy runs home to his mom after tryouts for the school play. Mom, I got cast in the play. I'm the tree. I'm the third-dairy character. I'm the tree.
Yeah, there's first dairy, secondary. No, there's first cow, secondary. Third dairy.
Oh.
So yeah, Whoopi Goldberg is in this movie. She's a star. It came out in 1993. Was an absolute revelation. Very important to me. I've seen this movie over 100 times. Easy.
You've seen this movie over 100 times?
Yes, I've seen this movie.
You've never seen the first movie. Here's another hint.
There's the reveal.
Here's another reveal.
I've never seen the first. This is a sequel.
It's a sequel with Whoopi Goldberg. How have you never seen the first movie if you've seen the second movie?
I don't know.
Did you have it on VHS and then you kind of just
No, I think like a family friend had it on VHS, and I watched it a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I went over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very important. I can understand why it's an important movie for you.
Yeah.
Because 1993, you also came out in 1993.
I came out. Yep. I came singing out of my mother. Clapping, singing, joyful, joyful. Yep. So yeah, the movie we're talking about is Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. Which was not a joke I got for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that a nun's outfit was called a habit.
Yeah, I think it's just the head bit, right?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
And also not all nuns wear a habit.
Oh.
Unless it's not the headpiece. Then I don't know. And why do I have to bring this up without doing research about it?
It's okay. You'll text me about it later, and it'll be great.
Maybe I should just give my phone number right now so people can text me about it too.
Hey, everybody.
Is that cool? Can I just say my phone number on your podcast?
I don't think you want to do that.
Okay. All right, I'll keep it to myself. But then, if someone texts you about it, just forward me
the message
about the habit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which I think most of the people that I would know, a lot of them would also know you and might be able to text you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you also know my number, text me about that habit.
Yeah. Let us know. Comment below. I said comment below in the last episode because I'm so used to saying that as a joke in my YouTube channel.
Where you can actually comment below.
Yeah, and you can't.
No, no one comments
Spotify or iTunes.
On SoundCloud.
Yeah. Nope.
Well, so Back in the Habit 2.
Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. Or Sister Act 2, colon.
Yes, yeah.
Back in the Habit.
It came out only a year after Sister Act. So either they were already planning it, or Sister Act was so successful.
Such a banger.
Immediately, that they immediately started the sequel.
Yeah, that seems right. That's what happened with Twilight.
Well, no.
Yes.
They were already planning on making
the sequel. Weren't confident it was going to happen. It switched studios.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. So, yeah, they weren't confident, but they were ready to go.
Yeah, they were like, there's material here. But, yeah, it was after box office. Then they got approved for the sequel. And the chick who wrote the screenplays for them all started working on it.
Okay. Now, in this case, with the Sister Act, I have to say, I don't think they had material when they were writing the first one. I don't think they knew exactly what to do with the sequel until they knew they needed to make a sequel.
Yeah.
Not trying to trash on the story, but it is kind of just a basic plot line.
Yeah.
Tried and true for family movies.
Well, I actually found out it's based on a true story.
Oh. Just the sequel. Just the sequel is based on a true story.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wait. You just made what an amazing connection. This whole podcast is based on a true story.
This whole podcast is based on a true story.
So it really has nothing to do with the first one. I mean, it does.
It does,
but the plot doesn't follow through from the first one. No. But what is the plot of the first Sister Act?
Oh, right, because you texted me asking what the plot was of the first movie.
I assumed you had watched it.
Yeah, you did. I have never seen it, but I still know what happens in the first one.
Perfect.
What I construe from my 100 times watching the second one. These are the facts that I gathered.
Context clues.
From the second movie.
Yeah.
What the first one is about. So if I'm wrong, somebody text me. I'd love to know. Okay, so the synopsis for Sister Act. This is what I texted Javier. I said, Whoopi is a lounge singer whose mobster boyfriend commits murder, and she sees it and gets put into witness protection. Then she becomes a nun, because sure, that's how witness protection works, and gets in the convent's choir and makes it fire emoji. And that's it.
Well, yeah, which is great, and it's really all you need to start watching the Sister Act 2. Because again, the Sister Act 2 has nothing to do with the first one, except she was a nun at one point and has some nun friends.
Yeah, she has nun friends. Yeah, that's all you need to know, is that she has nun friends and sings.
Yeah. Dolores.
Yeah, Dolores.
But there's also talks now, or at least Whoopi Goldberg wants a Sister Act 3 to happen.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Which
I'll also see that, and I'll never watch the first one. Yeah.
I don't know. Why? Why not watch the first one?
No, it just feels like, I don't know. It feels, I'm proud now.
You're proud not to watch it?
Yeah, I'm proud of having only seen the sequel because it's a dumb joke. It's a dumb joke that I refuse to let go of, even though it's for no one but me. You know, it's like a ha, that's funny. What a quirk. You've seen the sequel of this movie series. A lot of people aren't watching anymore. It's a fun fact about me, and I want to keep it.
Yeah, well, I think everyone needs to have one of those types of fun facts in their back pocket for whenever they're at a corporate retreat or icebreaker when you need to introduce yourself with a fun fact. Because not a lot of people have fun facts, because you think about facts about yourself and you're just like, no, those aren't fun. Those are just normal. That's just my life. But we know for a fact that it's not normal to not watch the original movie.
Yeah.
Watch the sequel.
And to only have seen the sequel.
I thought it would be funny for the longest time in my life, as a little funny joke in my life that's only fun for me, if my favorite movie was Lion King 1.5.
Oh, dude, that fucking slaps.
That movie's amazing.
I don't know what we were talking about. We paused to clean my couch, and now we're back, and we're just gonna talk about Sister Act 2 maybe now, because we haven't.
Let's do it.
We talked about.
Let's just get into it.
All right, here we go. All right. So we meet Dolores Van Cartier, and she is a lounge singer.
Mm-hmm.
But she's more than a lounge singer, I guess. She has like her own. She's a headliner.
She is a headliner.
Yeah, in Vegas. She has her own Vegas show.
Doing a really cool mashup of a bunch of popular songs.
Yeah, like doing like a review.
All of her set is great, and also during this very opening scene of the credits and her singing, one of my favorite shots I've ever seen in any movie is when her nun friends are there.
Yeah, her nun friends show up late.
Yeah, they kind of just sit down. I didn't even realize.
And also, I guess at the end of the show, because it seemed like a closing number, this big mashup.
Yeah.
I imagine the whole show was this 3-minute mashup song.
Of all the songs. Did it kind of feel like they were kind of only showing you segments of each of the songs that they were showing, or was it really a mashup?
It seemed like a mashup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were all on the stage, and people would leave the stage and come on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really was the big closing act. Yeah. Because she also got into a harness and started flying around.
Yeah, like Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm. The little fly harness all around the stage with her nun friends on stage singing as well. My favorite shot in the entire film was the shot of the techs, like the stage hands, who are just rapidly pedaling these.
Yeah, with the hand crank.
These hand cranks with their arms and their legs are just dangling there, and they're up in the rafters.
In the fly system, just
pedaling the fly system, screwing up royally, and she's just flying everywhere, but making the best of it.
Yeah, kept singing.
Pretending like it's all part of the show.
Uh-huh.
But that shot of just these men in the rafters rapidly pedaling something with their arms, very funny.
It didn't make any sense at all.
But of course, something bad had to happen because it's a comedy.
Yeah.
For Whoopi Goldberg to crush, so.
Yeah.
But she didn't. I expected her to fly off and crash into a table, and then be in just some hunk's lap and then cheer for Whoopi Goldberg and be like, oh hey, my bad.
Yeah, I'm Whoopi Goldberg. But yeah, so we see that, and then immediately she's like backstage with the nuns, walking back to her apartment. I guess she lives in the casino.
Mm-hmm.
And with her manager, who never shows up again, but he's in this banana yellow suit. He keeps trying to talk over her.
Yeah.
Of like the nuns are like, we need to talk to you about something important. And he's like, well, ladies, you can talk to me. I'm her manager.
Yeah, he also asked them if they wanted a representation, if they needed a manager.
Yeah, because he talked about how he had listened to their album. So I guess they cut an album as the choir in the last movie. I don't know. Or between the movies.
Oh.
In their lives
as
together.
Nuns.
They cut an album that was doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what got her the Vegas show? I don't know. But also, in her show, she went through the whole first movie. The 3 minutes basically were her. That's how I know what happened in the first movie.
What?
It's she has a mob boyfriend that she watches gun down people, and then she becomes a nun and she sings and gets famous.
Yeah, she wasn't famous before she became a nun.
She was just a lounge singer.
Okay.
A mob boyfriend.
She was not a headliner at that point.
No.
So are you saying that the first 3-minute, that mashup song tells the story of the first movie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some filmmaking.
That's
cool.
Some filmmaking.
I like that, but I didn't pick up on any of that. Do you think that the first movie also had a sexy postman?
Oh, I hope so. Somebody text me. Please. I need that.
What were the nuns asking her about?
They were saying that they needed her to come back to... They're working as teachers now. And they need her to come to San Francisco where they're working to talk to the Mother Superior about something. And she's like, I used to go to that school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the next scene... Well, she puts her manager in his place. And is like, no, you will not talk over me, Mr. Man. And so that's fun. Of like, I'm a powerful woman. And I took off my wig, so I'm serious.
The manager was also just kind of bad. He just thought that because they wanted to talk to her, they were talking business.
Yeah.
It was obvious that they were talking nothing about the music.
No.
And we're just like, hey, we're your friends.
Yeah.
Your nun friends.
We're your nun friends. We're your nun pals. There are 3 of us.
And they're all great. I love those characters. I also love the 3 priests that we'll meet later.
Yes.
Those Catholic brothers are hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it. This movie has a great cast of characters.
Yes. Yeah, they do a good job of that. So it takes 0 convincing to get Dolores to go to San Francisco to this school to meet with the Mother Superior, who is played by Maggie Smith.
Professor McGonagall, it was absolutely amazing to see her as a nun.
So she goes to talk to her. I guess phones don't work. I don't know.
Yeah, she sends out other nuns to go be like, hey,
leave her.
Exactly,
in
right?
Vegas, which is far from San Francisco.
Right?
So I guess they flew.
Which is maybe why they were late.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Their plane landed and they just got in.
And then immediately the next morning, back on the plane with Whoopi.
It was apparently so successful that she doesn't even have to care about any shows that she has for the foreseeable future.
It must have been like a Sunday performance. Theaters are usually dark on Mondays.
Nothing going on the next day.
Yeah.
Or the next couple of months.
I'll pop in to San Fran, to the old school I used to go to, where my nun friends now work. Yeah, so they come to the school, and Maggie Smith is like, yo, girl, this school is falling apart. It is so bad. We want you to come fix it. She's like, what in the world? That's a what? Bonkers. That's a bonkers idea, Miss Mary.
Because she's not a teacher.
Yeah.
Because she has no teaching credentials.
Yes.
That's why it's so bonkers. I was wondering why they were asking her.
Yeah.
Did she teach? Again, we didn't see the first one. Did she teach in the first one? Or did she just
sing? Put together their choir.
That's...
So they ask her to be the music teacher.
The music teacher, that makes sense, okay.
Yeah. But for some reason, they know that asking her to become the music teacher at this school is somehow going to turn the entire school around. The whole thing.
I didn't make that connection, but they don't really talk about, or not talk about, but show the other classes through the movie. They only show the music class.
Yes.
And that's apparently the only bad class. It's this specific mix-up of students in this one class for 1 hour a day. I don't know how long their music class is, but 50 minutes a day, some misbehaving students. Aren't they ruining the rest of the day?
Yeah. Well, they talked about when they were in Vegas, the happy, bubbly nun, who is also in Hocus Pocus. She's one of the witches.
Yeah.
I don't know her name. But they made a joke about how she has frowned. They've seen her not smile twice since they've been teachers.
I couldn't
so
tell.
They knew that it was bad. So I guess it's bad for everybody.
Yeah.
But they just think somehow her coming to be the music teacher, which isn't a class everyone takes at the school.
No.
She has one class of like 20 students in this whole school that is all the grades, it seems. Or a high school? I don't know how old they are. They're all 20-something adults. In reality.
Yes.
But I guess it's a high school. So feasibly there's at least 3 to 4 grades. But only 20 people in this class. And she
are ruining the entire school.
Yeah.
And if they could just get these 20 students in their place, the school would be a better place.
Yeah. It would also fix their debt issues, which is what we find out about next. When for some reason Dolores Whoopi Goldberg is like, okay, I'll do it. I guess she is just exhausted from her massive success as a headliner in Vegas and can just close her show for at least 3 months. That's a semester of school. Also, the school has already started.
And she wants the school to go on past the end of this semester. I couldn't figure out why they chose her. Was it racist at all? Was it?
Oh, maybe, yeah. That most of the people in the school were people of color.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but none of the Catholic priests or nuns were.
No, they were all white people.
And so it was just Whoopi Goldberg, and they thought, oh, if only we had a teacher of color.
There have to be. We only see 6 teachers.
Oh, for an entire, it's a small.
We only see. No, they have a meeting. They have a meeting when she's introduced to everyone.
There are some other teachers kind of in the background, not talking ever.
Well, there are like 3 people from like the discipleship or something, and one of them is black. There's a black woman who like comes to talk about the school and how it's bad. But yeah, the 6 teachers we meet, which are 3 nuns and 3 priests.
I think one of the teachers, one of the priests that you're counting, is actually the cook. So he's not even a teacher. He's just the cook.
God, you're right.
Brother Wolfgang is introduced as the cook who only ever cooks German sausage.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily bad, but they just make it out to be a bad thing.
They do. They give it a whole comedic beat. They give it a scene.
And they show how bad his plating is, but honestly, the plating of the German sausage with some gravy on it?
Yeah. They just were sad about it.
I guess if you've only eaten German sausage forever.
Day.
Is this another thing about Catholic schools? Do all the teachers eat together? Because that's how it seemed to work at this school.
Yeah, it seemed like they were having dinner together. That was like introducing her to everybody. Was at a dinner.
And then Whoopi Goldberg has to live in the attic of the school.
Which she had a room similar to it, I'm assuming, in the first Sister Act. Because they make a joke about how it's so much better. They added curtains.
Yeah, I didn't understand how that was a joke, but it's probably a reference.
I assume, yeah. She was like, oh, things are going to be better this time around. It's just curtains and still a sad room. Which I guess must have been a big laugh in the theater on the first movie when she goes into her bedroom and it's ass. And so they're like, guys, we have to.
Callback. We gotta do the callback.
Yeah.
I just imagine the boardroom where all the producers are meeting. All right, how many callbacks can we make? But I love all these teachers. The math teacher is hilarious, constantly throughout the entire movie. The bubbly teacher who teaches sex ed is hilarious throughout the entire movie.
The teachers are funny. They all, have their own moments of shine. And that's really nice. So she gets settled and she becomes a teacher. She goes to her class, which is rowdy, but they're like singing a song. They're like rapping or something together. I don't remember.
Yeah,
doing something.
There's a beat going on, everyone's clapping, and everyone's
having fun.
Yeah.
She comes in and is like, "Hello, I'm Sister Mary Clarence, your new music teacher."
Mm-hmm. And then everyone is kind of introducing themselves and their own personality. But when I say everyone, I only mean the 6 students who will ever speak throughout the entire film.
Ooh, that is not true, but they do speak the most, and it makes it very uncomfortable when other people in the class get lines that are important to the plot.
It's true, because we don't know the other students' names.
No, there's at least like 25 people in this classroom. It is packed. Only 6 of them get to speak at length and get characterization.
And I think they're all great. All these kids.
All 6 are.
All the characters are great. Frank Hay. So wait, who's the first? I don't even know the name of the first kid, but he's just this dorky white kid, and they make fun of him.
Oh yeah, his name's like Joey, I think.
Kissing
like
butt.
Joe.
He's very proper.
Yeah.
Polite.
He's very cute. He's just like, and he also doesn't get it. He doesn't get the social cues of everybody ragging on him at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand at all. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he's just like, asking questions.
He's the type of kid who would say like, "Oh, you forgot to assign us homework tonight."
Yep.
What's our assignment?
Yep, he is exactly that kid. Just respectful though. Also, he's genuinely interested and respectful.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first one. Yeah, and then we meet Lauryn Hill, which is Rita. Her name is Rita. But it's
very obviously Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, they didn't do anything. They just had. It's very much like having Whoopi Goldberg in a movie of like, do whatever you want.
This was Lauryn Hill while she was Lauryn Hill. It wasn't like before. It's not even a young Lauryn Hill. It's just Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, right? It's just Lauryn Hill. Yeah, as
Rita.
Yeah.
But she's a singer. Who we eventually find out her mother does not want her to sing because it does not pay bills.
Yeah, that is that whole thing. When we get to that, I have a lot to say about it.
I do too. It's a weird.
But
let's meet the rest of the class. Let's see what's going on at the school.
Rita. Describe them as buttheads.
The students? Well, they are. They immediately disrespect Whoopi Goldberg's Sister Mary Clarence. Rita stands up and says, "Hey, that's great that we're new, but we don't care about you because this is a bird class."
Yeah.
It's a bird class because we just fly right on through.
Yeah.
Wow, she got him. She showed her. Yep. So it's an easy A, and they're going to do whatever they want, which happens to be music.
Right.
Which is very convenient for a music class.
Yep, it is. And we meet Amal. Amal is his name is
James, but that's the label that was given to him by his assimilationist parents.
Yes.
And his true name is Amal.
Yes.
I also love this character because he's just a young black kid who is trying to just kind of honor his black roots, constantly name dropping famous Africans.
Yes.
That's all he does throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, and he tears up the little white guy. I think his name's Frankie or something.
Yeah.
He's trying to rap, and he raps poorly. And
Frankie constantly says brother or sister, or he's constantly using this slang. And Amal is always calling him out on it.
Yeah, for appropriation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great dynamic. But they don't stop hanging out. They're still, like, good friends.
Yes. Yeah.
And people are still giving Amal a hard time.
They rag on him constantly.
Because he's constantly...
tear him up.
Because he's always name-dropping someone. It says, like, well, actually...
Which is such an incredible take on, like, the know-it-all.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful, diverse take on the class know-it-all.
A good old anti-racist African know-it-all.
It's phenomenal. I wish that trope caught on. We would be a better country for it.
More Amals.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's Rita's best friend. Don't know her name. She's just also there, and she has a short black haircut.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Do we learn any of the other girls' names?
I think we do, but I don't remember what they are.
There's the one girl who's always doing her makeup.
Yes, there's Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Is that? Wait, is that really her?
Jennifer Love Hewitt is always doing her makeup.
Wow.
We look at her so much.
They
put the camera on her so often.
They make
just
so
for her
many
to react.
jokes about her not talking
Yeah.
and only doing her makeup.
Yeah. Jennifer Love Hewitt. And then there's another girl who is like from Greece. She's like a pink lady from Greece, is what she's like Rizzo.
Yeah. All of the characters are also very classic 80s and 90s city kid stereotypes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have the Anthony's friend, or Tony's friend, whoever the fuck that kid was, that's white and raps.
Who's not Frankie?
Or Frankie.
Frankie, right, has his hair all slicked back and everything.
Yeah, and then his friend, he has a job, and he's tired all the time.
Oh, sketches.
Sketches. Oh yeah, because he does the murals. He does the.
You know why they call him Sketches? Because he sketches all the time. That's the first line in the movie that he says. That's the first line. My name's Sketches, because I sketch all the time. I don't even know his real name. He just says they call me Sketches, because I sketch all the time. Cool. Good for you, Sketches.
Love that for you.
They never show him sketching.
It's graffiti.
They show him doing that.
Yeah, they show him doing graffiti.
Because he spruces up the classroom.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
But he is very tired.
He is tired because he has a job. This is the inner city.
This is the inner city. He has to take care of his family.
Right.
Even if he's still just in high school.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we meet those 6 characters, and then there's still 30 other students in the room that you see, but we're not talking to them right now. Which also, Jennifer Love Hewitt never speaks either. We just see her, and they make fun of her a lot. Which is Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Everyone gets made fun of.
Everybody does get ragged on.
Except
Rita.
Yeah, except Rita.
Yeah. Which they only ever talk to Rita when she doesn't want to do stuff, and they're like, why are you singing with us?
Come on, Rita.
Please.
Well, let's move on to that. Why doesn't Rita sing with them?
Yeah, she drops the class. She's the first one to leave the class. When Sister Mary Catherine is like...
Clarence.
Mr. Clarence.
Sister Mary Clarence.
Mary Catherine Clarence. Mary Clarence is like, well, I'm going to be firm with y'all, and this ain't no bird class no more. And they're all like, boo!
Just into her face about it.
Yeah. And Rita's like, well, then I am not taking this class anymore. And then Whoopi Goldberg's like, all right, then you will fail. And then all the other kids are like,
ooh, I
don't want to fail.
Right? They can't afford to fail that class. Sketches like, hey, all of my family dropped out of high school. I gotta finish high school. Yeah. I can't fail this class.
Yeah.
Which is very honorable. And as Rita leaves the room on her own, because no one else, she says, you guys are bad friends. But I'd say that in that situation, the real bad friend is someone who expects their quote-unquote friends to make life-altering decisions just for her.
Just for her, yeah.
Also, just for 1 hour of the day.
Yes.
It's just one class.
And that's also not something you can do in high school.
Just walk out.
Just decide you're not in that class anymore. You're just like, what? Where's she going?
Just walking around the city. And then it seems like she's completely dropped out of school at that point.
Yeah.
As if her only bird class was the only thing keeping her in school.
She's not in any other class.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
The principal of the school, one of the priests, talks to Whoopi Goldberg towards the beginning and says, I want to tell you what this school is about.
Father Maurice?
Yes. Father Maurice. says discipline. This school is all about discipline. And they're really not good at that at all because they can't seem to enforce a dress code on any of the students, and they can't seem to even keep one of the students on campus for the entire day.
Yeah. But Whoopi Goldberg is going to change all of it with her choir class. Yeah. So she starts to be firmer with them. They glue her to the chair. That's their first prank as a class.
It is their only prank.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, hilarious.
Great prank.
So funny. She gets glued to the chair.
There's a ripping noise when she tries to stand up.
Mm-hmm. And so she stays in the chair. And then the next scene is we see her wheeling herself foot first down a slanted hallway. And she gets halfway up and then gets tired and just rolls backwards. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
That is definitely one of the best scenes of the movie. As soon as I knew that she was going to be rolling around and saw that they were going to dedicate over a minute of just that, of Whoopi Goldberg sitting on a chair and rolling with just her legs, hilarious.
Yeah.
I was really into it.
Yeah. And then after that is when she comes in and is like, we're not messing around anymore. And then Rita leaves and everybody else stays. And then she starts to teach them about discipline. And they're like, how are we supposed to remember this? Here, let me try something. And then these two white girls that don't speak again sing in perfect harmony together. And then also Rita's best friend sings. And we're like, oh, bitch can sing also. Wow. Whoopi Goldberg is like, y'all can sing? And one of them is like, this is a music class, isn't it?
Oh, but that's what just some good attitude. Really uncalled for though.
They did. They flamed her up like, you idiot bitch. Of course we can all sing beautifully. It's music class.
Who was even the last teacher of the class? It was the old nun, maybe?
Maggie Smith.
No, not Maggie Smith.
The old nun that can't drive but keeps driving the bus anyway.
Yes.
Mm.
Maybe. It's never clear who used to teach the class.
No clue.
But all the kids in music class are gifted at music.
Yes.
So they definitely chose the class at one point.
Yeah.
Which makes me confused as to why they're not into it in the first place. Yeah. Why are they rowdy about it? They want to be there. They can all sing.
They like music.
Right.
Yeah, because they're out on the playground. I don't know where they are. And they have like a rap circle that Whoopi Goldberg walks into and throws a rap in about how they have to leave.
They have to get back to class. No better example of, hey, I'm a kid too. I'm cool. Yep. And hello, fellow kids.
Yep. So yeah, she finds out they can all sing. So she's like, oh, then I'm going to do what I did in the first movie. And we're going to make a choir. Mm. Yep. And so they find a space for them to have new choir practicing.
It's like the attic.
Their classroom is not good enough for choir.
Yeah.
So they go find a new space that they soup up. And she takes them to a nursing home to watch her old choir perform, which is the Nuns.
That is amazing. Ball of Confusion by the Temptations. It's a perfect cover of Ball of Confusion. Just nuns singing. It's amazing. And all the kids actually, at first they're embarrassed. They're like, oh, all these nuns from our school, they're singing? Ew, gross. All the old people are totally into it because everyone's into the Temptations. And it's just an amazing cover. And then the kids are into it. And they're like, okay, we know what you're doing. We get that you're trying to glee this up. And in perfect Glee fashion, they do find one student who was not in the class before, but is suddenly in the class who can play the piano. And he never speaks. He can only play the piano. And at first it's a broken piano. but it still works, even though it's slanted on its side.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And all he does is play a G note, I think. And then Whoopi Goldberg is like, wow, you're amazing.
Got
incredible.
it. Let's go.
Talent.
Yep. That's all we need. Yep. And then Rita is with her best friend, and Rita can play piano very well. We find out because they're just hanging out in the church.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's Lauryn Hill, so of course she can play the piano.
Well, yeah, of course she can.
The chapel of the school.
In the chapel. It's just them two hanging out, and her best friend is singing insanely beautifully. She messes up at one point, but she doesn't. She just stops singing. Because I always mess that part up. And then does it exactly the same, but then keeps singing. And Lauryn Hill joins it. But then Lauryn Hill stops playing and is sad.
Oh, I'm so sad because I'm singing right now, but I'm not allowed to sing.
Yeah, she's sad because she shouldn't like music, but she loves it. And quit the choir, but she wants to be a part of it.
Right.
Yeah, and is too proud.
Her mother doesn't think that she should be in the choir at all because that would mean that she's pursuing a career in music.
Right.
And music doesn't pay the bills.
It does not, because her dad died.
Which her mom just kind of lets it out there, just drops it out of nowhere about, oh yeah, your dead dad.
Yeah, your dad died pursuing his dreams. And you're like, what? How?
Oh.
How? One. How? What were his dreams? What? There are so many questions. Was he a singer?
I think he might have been trying to be a singer.
We don't know at all. She doesn't.
There's definitely no. It just mentioned that the dad died. So now she's a single mother working hard to raise Rita.
Right.
And thinks that even in high school, Rita should not be in choir.
No.
Because
it's a waste of time. She needs to keep that head in them books.
So she can
Even though she doesn't go to any other class.
No, she's already a terrible student.
Yeah. So she's fighting with that morally. Well, we find that out later that was like her big issue. But she comes back to choir. Whoopi Goldberg doesn't make a big show of it. She just walks in to the choir one day and she's like, nice to see you again. Keep singing, everybody.
Well, Whoopi does ambush her on the street at one point because Whoopi's ginger nun friend overhears them singing in the chapel,
right?
And then tells Whoopi about it and says,
"So good at singing.
They're amazing. They can sing." So then Whoopi ambushes her on the street and says, "Hey, come back, join the choir. Here's a book." She doesn't actually give her a book. She just gives her a little lesson. You know, if you can wake up and think about nothing but singing, then you know that you're a singer. And that's how I feel, and I know it's how you feel, so you should come sing with us at the choir.
Yep.
Most of this movie's plot happens because one character overhears the conversation of another character.
Yes.
Earlier in the movie, Whoopi Goldberg overhears the principal, priest, and Mr. Crisp talking about how their school is running out of money.
Yeah, that they're going to close the school. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. That's a big thing. They're going to close the school at the end of the year. But
she just overhears it.
Yeah.
Why does it have to? Isn't there a better way to have the plot progress than just eavesdropping?
No, eavesdropping is the only way to move forward. So the school's going to close, and so she's like, man, I really got to turn it around. We got to get this choir good. And so they start to do arpeggios, warm-ups.
La 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 la.
Some of that. Alright, so some of that. Imagine it's good, though. And then...
la 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 la.
Alright, rule of 3. We're done doing that now.
And in the movie, they do it for a full 2 minutes.
Yes, and then they sing "Oh Happy Day." It's a surprise.
They're real lyrics.
Yeah, they do. They do this whole it's like in front of the whole school. We find out there's more people in the school because
there's a whole math class. One of the brothers teaches math.
He does, and he wants to teach new math.
desperately
Oh my god!
desperately wants to teach you new math.
I didn't know there was a new or an old math. I thought math had been the same. But, yeah.
Because there's some new theories coming out about math. I think we should teach our high school
We need to
about
teach new math. But, okay, so the choir performs through the school. They're all nervous. And, oh, man. They sing Oh Happy Day. And Amal has the solo. And is not great at first. He's too quiet. And as every choir teacher does, she speaks at full volume in full sentences to him while the choir is singing.
In
being
front
like,
of everyone watching.
Yeah,
This
being
episode.
like, you need to sing louder. You're a lion.
Has him step forward on his own.
Yeah, but then he gets it, and he kills it. It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. Everybody gets real hyped up, right? And so then the nuns find all these trophies from where the choir in the past
They're
won
cleaning
all
out a random room.
Yeah.
I don't know what room it is in. They already cleaned out a room. They had an entire montage of
cleaning up that room, finding that sideways piano
for the choir.
Yeah, them spray painting a mural.
The math teacher dances with the mop.
Oh, he does. He's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they find all these all-state championship trophies, and then that is what inspires them to enter the all-state choir competition.
Which made me think, what about regionals?
Yeah.
If I learned anything about watching Glee, is that you always have to go through regionals
7 times.
So that you can make it to...
For 3 seasons.
For 3 seasons, always regionals. So that you can make it to the quarterfinals and then the semifinals. And I don't know what's after regionals. I never watched that far.
Yeah, I've never seen an all-state choir competition that was a whole choir competing against other choirs. In Kentucky, it's you compete as an individual to get into the all-state choir. In a big choir. So I don't know what this is, but I guess they're a show choir. But it's just Jesus. Every choir we see at the competition.
Only for Catholic schools. Except one Catholic school is not named like St. Francis. It's just named Davis.
Yeah.
But they also sing about the Lord.
Yeah.
So
no, it's like a gospel choir competition.
But still show choir.
Yeah, but still dancing.
Gospel show.
Gospel show choir. So yeah. And Father Maurice even gives his blessing. Because he was on the fence before, because he got upset when she took them to the nursing home, because he was like, no field trips. We can't afford field trips.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess the only thing they had to pay for that one was the gas money. Because it doesn't cost money to go to a nursing home when you're visiting.
No, it's just the bus.
Yeah.
And they didn't even hire a bus driver.
No, it was
I guess
nun.
The nun is...
And she hit like 19 potholes, and that was a joke. She like parked the bus like in this like alleyway. It was like the size of the bus.
Yeah.
And it like scraped out.
And at the end of it, she just sped out of it really fast.
It's very funny. So yeah, but he gives his blessing as long as they can raise the money themselves to go. And each student has to get parental consent, which is important for him to say because Lauryn Hill's mom doesn't want her to go.
No, when Lauryn Hill shows up to Sister Mary Lawrence and 2 of the other nuns talking and filling out all these consent forms and getting ready for the show, Lauryn Hill walks up and says, well, actually, I gotta tell you, I can't do it. I'm not in the choir anymore. My mom
said no.
And she walks away.
Well, she doesn't say that her mom won't let her be in the choir.
Oh,
because
that's right.
Whoopi just thinks that she doesn't want to be in the choir. So then Whoopi is like, I'm going to go handle this. She goes to her house, which is also, I guess, where her mother works. She does hair. And she answers, because she was, like, doing someone's hair and, like, goes to the door. And it's like, hey, I'm the choir teacher. Your daughter quit trying to get her to be in the choir. She's like, no. I hated her dad died.
Oh, but I get what she seems like a bad mom and not a fun person, and she does, however, have cool outfits. I really like her dresses.
Oh yeah. Fashion is on point in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Everybody looks cool as hell.
All the kids
Yeah.
are way cooler.
Dope as fuck.
Did all high schoolers dress cool in the 90s?
No. Not in the pictures I've seen of my family.
No.
Well, I guess they were also like grungy gutter punk. But that can be cool.
Exactly. That can be this is a different type of cool.
This is city cool streetwear.
/ Catholic school, so they always have to have a button-up shirt on. Doesn't have to be buttoned up.
Yeah. None of that. I was thinking about that. I was like, are they wearing uniforms? I thought that was a thing. No.
Right? No discipline.
No.
That's the problem.
No
so maybe Whoopi Goldberg can turn the school around and force all the kids to wear the uniforms finally.
Yeah. But they do so they do a fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
And they raise the money. Because they do like a show. They raise the money. And they get costumes even, which turns out is just robes. Old robes.
Choir robes, gospel robes.
Yeah. They're like dingy. And so I was like, what? Alright. But they get the money to go. Mm-hmm. And at the last minute, Lauryn Hill shows up. She has forged her mother's signature on the consent form.
She's got to do it because she wakes up every morning and only thinks about music.
And so they go to Hollywood, which is where the all-state choir competition is.
Mm-hmm.
And Lauryn Hill leaves a letter for her mom. It's just like, sorry, Mom, I had to do this because I love it. And her mother is like, I have to go rip this bitch out of the choir myself, and gets in her car and drives. That's so far. That's like a 6-7 hour drive
from San Francisco. Yeah,
that sucks.
I was thinking about how long that drive could possibly take because it's not just Lauryn Hill's mom who's taking the drive. All of the priests and Mr. Crisp are also taking the drive.
Yeah, because they find out after they leave. One of the priests finds a magazine that has Whoopi Goldberg as her performer self in it. Yeah,
there are multiple times when Mr. Crisp kind of recognizes her, and this entire time she's supposed to be secret because I guess you can't teach at a Catholic school unless you're.
Which is not true. Yeah, but I guess it's this one. They have to.
St. Francis, you know?
Makes sense. She's also an alumna of this school.
Which makes it even more confusing as to why they would never figure out she's not who she says she is. But they finally do. Mr. Crisp is furious.
Yes.
He's like, we need to go take her down.
Yeah, we gotta yank this choir out of the competition because of this.
Because the teacher.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right? No, it does. It seems like he wants the school to close.
Yes, he does. He wants to retire early.
True.
So if they close the school, he gets to retire early.
Mm-hmm.
So they go also on this 7-hour drive.
And one of the teachers is a terrible driver of
He doesn't have a license.
He actually is a good driver, though.
He doesn't use his blinkers. They bring that up. They're like, hey, you see that right there? It's a blinker. And it tells other people around you what you're going to do. Maybe do it. And then he gets up out of his seat and leans over the next seat to scream at people driving next to him.
And then gets into a lane of oncoming traffic to pass other cars.
Yes.
Almost gets hit by a truck.
Huh?
Makes it. Yeah. Survives. They make it to the competition.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what. So there's this rampage of people coming to the choir competition. Meanwhile, they're at the choir competition, chilling. They watch some of the other acts, and they're like, oh, other people are also good at singing. Oh no. So their confidence starts to shake a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the priests show up, and they're running around backstage trying to find Whoopi Goldberg and the group Even though there would obviously be like one place where they would be and where they have been.
Where all the groups would congregate and everything for this very official all-state choir competition.
Yes.
And I do remember that Mr. Crisp, who I guess he's the antagonist of the movie.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
He's a bad guy. Makes one of the absolute funniest jokes of the whole show. He's talking to Father Clarence? Maurice. And says, Sister Mary Clarence, more like Sister Mary Fake.
Ow. And then she just bursts into flames. Flame the fuck up. Got her. Yep.
Oh, he's just so vindictive, but then other priests are there and run into the sisters.
Yeah, the sisters are like, oh, we'll help you look for her. And they shove them into a broom closet.
They shove Mr. Crisp.
Yeah, they shove Mr. Crisp into a broom closet. And then Father Maurice gets to the kids, finds them in the place that they have been the whole time. And they're all like, oh my gosh, it's so nice of you to come to support us. And he's all like, of course I would come and support you. And they're like, oh, yay. He's like, oh, but I have to stop. And then he looks at them in their nasty choir robes. And it's just like, but you all look like angels.
He's so nice.
He's so nice. So they go and they get into the wings. Because they're up next. They watch the choir before them. They get psyched out even more. And they're like, oh no.
Because that choir is doing the same song.
They do the same song.
Not only are they twice as big, twice as many members.
Yes.
They do the same song.
Yes.
And apparently they're very good.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the stage manager starts to tell them to take off all their robes. And then Whoopi Goldberg's like, perform, you're gonna perform as yourself. Be yourself. And that's a revelation. And they come out. Lauryn Hill has the opening solo. She doesn't start singing it. We're like, whoa, what's going on? She sees her mama somehow in the audience. There's no way. There's no way she would have seen her mother in this massive audience with those lights on her face.
That quickly, right?
Yeah.
Before she even starts singing a note.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But it was dramatic. So she sees her, but then she's like, I gotta show my mama what it's about. And she sings gorgeously. Her mother starts to cry. And then... I
would cry too if my daughter was Lauryn Hill.
Oh my god. And then they turn it on its head. It ain't your average joyful.
No.
It's a mashup. Because that's what Whoopi does. And they dance. And they rap. I'm down with G.O.D.
I'm down with G.O.D. Man, I don't understand why there were so many of those like cringy Christian raps that were trying to be cool and about rap music. Just show kids this.
Yeah.
If you want kids who are into rap and hip hop and cool mashups to also be into Jesus, just show them Sister Act 2.
Dude, I was in it. I was like, oh, hell yeah. I want to be in a gospel choir now.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, so they win. They win the whole competition.
They're also the last to perform because as soon as they perform, as soon as they walk off the stage,
award ceremony.
Everyone's up and like, now it's time for the awards.
Yeah, and they win the entire thing, and everybody freaks out. Turns out the disciples are there, the people in charge of the school are there, and they're like, we're not going to close the school now because this means something. There's one thing that's good. So.
There was one thing that was bad before, which is why we were closing the school.
And now we have one good thing, and so we aren't anymore. And Mr. What was his name?
Chris.
Chips. I keep calling him Chips because Chris. Mr. Chips. You get to stay on forever. You never get to retire. And he's like, oh. Yep.
Which isn't how retirement works, but.
Sure. And then somebody says that she's not really a nun. He's like, Whoopi's not a nun. She's a showgirl. And then two of the fucking students in the class.
Oh, my favorite, Frankie and Maria.
Fucking break the fourth wall.
They talk to each other and like, she's a, what?
And
they
looked
looked
straight into the camera at us.
There was a moment before where Whoopi looked at the camera.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to remember. We'll come back to it.
It's okay. Okay, so yeah, she's a showgirl, and she says, Ago is a headliner. And then it goes to the credits where they sing.
Some more mashups?
Well, it's just like the
credit
cast.
song is
yeah,
just
the cast.
The
just
cast
sings, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. And that's how it ends.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So yeah, that's Sister Act 2. Back in Habit.
Beautiful. Hilarious. Wasn't expecting the humor to be as dry as it was at some points. I think for a family movie in the early 90s, the story was great. The story did seem very, oh no, a school is in danger of closing. We need to raise money. Oh, we can raise money by winning this competition kind of thing with the choir or the band or the basketball team.
Yeah, exactly.
Very common.
Yeah, it was that.
But being based on a true story?
Yeah, loosely. They say very loosely. Based on this teacher at a school.
Neat. Yeah. Was that teacher a nun?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. I saw. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, 17%.
Oh no!
I know!
Oh no! 17%! It deserves so much more.
Yeah, it has a 2.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Oh no!
I know, people are rude.
Wow.
This shit is fire. I don't know what movie people are watching when they give it that low. I don't know. But also, they probably watched the first movie. Maybe this is a letdown after Sister Act.
Oh,
but
compared.
I can't imagine it is.
But it's a sequel.
It also did make a lot of money. It grossed $57 million. It had a budget of $38. So,
$38 million is a lot of money for this type of movie too, right?
And the way it looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that money went.
Well, there were so many performers, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Sister Act itself, the first one, had a budget of $31. Box office, $231 million.
Yeah. Wow.
Hit.
Wow.
An insane hit.
Which makes me question, why didn't we watch that one?
I don't want to.
Funny jokes.
Yeah, maybe if someone pays me money. Yeah, maybe. But yeah. Did you identify with Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit?
Yeah, I did. With a couple moments, with a couple of the characters in the show, movie. Of course, all the things I identified with, they were kind of making fun of. Immediately, I identified with that white kid who was overly polite. And in kind of teacher's pet kind of way. I also identified with one character. I think at the state competition, he was like a stagehand, and he told them something and then walked away very speedily, and with his arms like pumping, and in his jeans. And I was like, oh, I know what that walk is. That's just a very fast white man walk. Where your butt cheeks are just clenched. And you're just walking.
Gosh. Wow.
With purpose. I identified with that single moment more than anything else in the film.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
They need to know. I hope the creators of Sister Act 2 get to hear that and be like, oh, we left that in.
Yeah, I remember when
really impacted this man's life.
Yeah, that one extra actor did that one
thing.
Made
that choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you identify with any parts of Sister Act 2?
Watching it again this time, I did it. This one's interesting because I didn't identify with it growing up. I just really loved it and thought it was super fun. And I wanted to live this life.
Did you want to be in that choir?
I wanted to be in the choir. and then I wanted to be Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of got to live it.
Mm.
And in college, I studied abroad in Spain with my choir. We did a tour in Spain.
Wow.
Yeah, and one of the shows we did with a local choir. We did like a concert with them.
Yeah, yeah.
And we both did a song together, and it was "Oh Happy Day."
Whoa.
And as a joke, because I had seen Sister Act 2
Yeah.
Back in the Habit 100 times, we were singing the traditional version, and I started to do the riffs that Amal was doing, the solo.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was doing them just like kind of to myself, not very loud, just having fun. But one of the local singers was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! This bitch over here knows something we don't know. Let's have her do this."
No.
So I got to do it. I got to be Amal. Yeah, and there's still a photo of me at Center College of me singing, holding the mic, singing at this concert.
Did you do his? Amal had one move that he did on stage where it was kind of a dab. He just kind of threw his arms up.
No, I did not do that. No.
And then in the final show, they were all doing that, throwing their arms up.
Yeah, what have you done for me lately? Yeah, that move, which is also in Superstar.
Oh, that dance move.
Yeah, it's a dance move from the 90s, I guess.
Dab. It's not a dab.
It's not a dab. But yeah, so I got to live Sister Act 2. So I now identify with the movie because I manufactured a moment from the movie in my life.
Yeah. Did anyone in Spain get the reference?
No, but the music assistant who worked at our school, she knew, and she was hype as hell.
I'm sure she was immediately hyped when they knew what song that you guys were singing.
Yes.
Right? Was she on this tour through Spain with you guys?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
She was just on the tour with us, having a good time. I love her. Sally Bright, if you somehow listen to this podcast, we all love you. And everybody who knows Sally Bright, that woman is queen. She's the best. She's hilarious and amazing. So she was living in the back.
Well, Sally, if you pick up on Sister Act 2 references, I'm loving you now too.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, only stars.
Awesome.
Appreciate that film. Yeah. But yeah, fucking blew it up. It was so good. I did not blow it. I killed it. It was the best thing I've ever done, I think, in my life. Yeah, it was really fun.
I guess I never identified with any of the bigger themes or the musical parts of it, but I did notice while watching it that some of the themes that were lightly touched on in the movie are kind of relevant today. And I mean, we know that Whoopi Goldberg wants a third movie to come out. I would love to see a third movie that again touches on these questions of race and religion.
Yeah.
But 30 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck a third movie in this would be.
Hopefully it's loosely based off of a true story.
I hope it's them in space.
They're we gotta go to space.
We're in space, and Whoopi to space. Yeah, okay, cool. Sister Act 2. This podcast is gonna be 2 fucking hours long. It's gonna be longer than the movie was.
Yeah, the movie wasn't too bad.
It was an hour 49.
Yeah. Wasn't too bad. I also... I didn't bring this up while we were talking about the movie, but it's just going to add time. I really need to talk about one of the most Scooby-Doo things that I've ever seen happen outside of Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
In this movie, the priests are at the competition, but get on board. They're we're going to support the kids. We're going to support Sister Mary Clarence, even though we know that she's Sister Mary fake.
Yeah.
They lock Mr. Crisp in a supply closet.
Yes.
And they bar the door with a German dessert sausage.
Oh, right. He's upset because he's that was going to be dessert.
Yeah, yeah. But they just use it, and apparently it's enough.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what he made it out of. I don't know why he wanted a sausage to be dessert.
It also had give to it when he was holding it.
So it could never bar a door.
Yeah, unless it literally, like, couldn't be broken.
And in that case, why would you want to eat it as a
how
dessert?
could you eat it? Yeah, so I don't know.
But
it
it's
was just,
definitely
like, covered in powdered sugar. It was just like a sausage covered in powdered sugar.
I thought that was the casing.
Yeah.
Definitely, if it was for dessert,
yeah.
it was definitely a sausage just dipped into
holding,
powdered sugar.
Sausage covered in powdered sugar.
But that was the most Scooby-Doo thing I've ever seen happen, and I really appreciate Scooby-Doo.
There you go.
So I'm glad that happened in this movie.
That's really nice. That's beautiful. All right, well, okay.
Good movie. Go watch it. We'll end it here. We'll let you.
It's on Disney Plus. Both of them are on Disney Plus. Thank you for listening to this extremely long episode, because I'm not really editing them very much anymore, so most of this will probably be in, so...
Just the conversation.
So thanks for sticking with it, everybody who made it this far. And thanks for listening as usual. Thank you, Javier, for visiting me before you moved to greener pastures in Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Allie, for having me on again and watching another movie with me. And I hope that we can still watch some movies in the future and at least talk about them.
Yes.
Not record them.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, great. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. I would become a secret nun and direct your all-state choir anytime. That's how much I love you.
Oh, I'll commit a crime that you can witness so that you have to go into witness protection program if you'd like.
Aww.
I would do that for you.
That's so sweet.
Just so you can become a nun.
Aw. That's nice. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Alright, so thanks for stopping by, everybody. I have been your friendly neighborhood fat friend. This has been my friendly friend, Javier.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. Okay, bye!